Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This
Trae.
is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a wonder-filled Wednesday, and I'm really excited to have my guest joining me today in the Black Media Matter studios. We got Paul Mitchell in the building, y'all. He is the chair for the Roots Family Picnic, and they've been doing this for a really long time, and I'm excited to have him joining me today to tell us more about this year's celebration. Of course, y'all know, though, we got to start at the top, because it's the top of the show. So it's the perfect time for you to participate with us and help us grow. Share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from the daily dose of dopeness we give you here on the Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered, because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find me on whichever platform is your favorite. There's like 200 of them, y'all. So you can find us anywhere that you already are listening, all right? You ain't got to do too much searching. Just put us in there and listen in. You can also share the podcast as well if you're finding value in the guests that we're bringing here on the Day with Trae and the way we continue to uplift amazing community-rooted solutions, businesses, artists, performers, folks who are celebrities coming right here to the Pacific Northwest. If you're finding that valuable, please share it with others. Your help in sharing this is really helping us grow, and I'm so appreciative of all the love y'all been pouring in and all the support you've been giving. Well, before I get into it with Paul after the break, I just want to say that, we're about to wrap up summer season, and, it's the last week of August, and it has been a phenomenal Black August, Black Business Month, Black Philanthropy Month. I mean, August encapsulates a lot going on in the Black community across America. And if you are someone who finds yourself a part of that community, married into it, kids in it, whatever, however you're connected to it, there's so many different things that happen during the month of August for you to tap into, learn more about, and bring your experience and expertise to as well. And I'm really grateful because up here in the Seattle greater metro area, I've been able to be a part of some of that amazing exploration of activities, of talent that we have here, and of course, the gathering. And that's really why I'm excited to have Paul here today, because we're going to be talking about that gathering of folks. And honestly, it goes back to ancient times. We understood in order to build the first civilizations, the gathering of people had to happen. You had to understand who was bringing what to the table, what kind of skills and talents emerged, how industry was birthed out of those skills and talents. All of these kinds of things are so special to me and to so many of us who understand the value of that collective community. And if you find yourself a bit out of it, maybe you're not tapped in, I'm encouraging you to tap in. Whatever community you want to be a part of or you feel you should be a part of, this is really where you get to find the people that are resonating with you, the ones who are having shared lived experience with you, the ones who are dealing with maybe some of the same types of issues you are. There's a lot that it means to be in community. There's a lot of different, definitions for what that looks like. And I'm grateful because honestly, I've been raised by the Black community my whole life. Being a part of Black community, specifically in the Central District, has rooted me in so many of the traditions that we hold near and dear to our hearts. And as I'm a mother, one of the things that was important to me was for my sons to feel that same semblance of community. And so I know for all of us, there are communities around us that we are a part of, whether it's folks we grew up with or, it stems from our circle of influence in our families. Community gatherings are one of the best ways to be in community together. You could be there for a specific purpose, but also just being there to commune with each other, to connect and make sure that connection stays true over time. That's why I'm really excited, because after this short break, y'all, we got Mr. Paul Mitchell joining me. He's coming up next. He's going to be telling us all about this year's gathering of Roots Picnic. Y'all don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. See you guys in a few.
Here on Back to Besa, it's always been important to me that we uplift stories from across the region, and that no matter where you live in the nation, you never have to miss a moment of the show as we continue to highlight the beauty, excellence, and resilience of our communities across the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because representation matters. So no matter where you live, be it the Central District or Centralia, Portland or Pullman, or anywhere across the country, I encourage you to join me on this Back to Besa journey by downloading the free Fox Local app on your phone or smart TV as we continue to elevate the very best in our communities.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me is Mr. Paul Mitchell. Hi.
Hello there.
Good to see you again.
Good seeing you again.
Yeah.
It must be that time of the year.
I know, absolutely. We find ourselves here again, my friend. Now, this is exciting because Roots Family Picnic has been going on for quite some time. Just give us a little bit of the history for those that may not know.
All right. Roots Picnic started 52 years ago, 53 years ago, by some families from the center area, and mainly two people, Arlene Yarbrough and Letcher Yarbrough. They were a family that lived over on 23rd and Marion by the YMCA, where the YMCA is now. They lived right across the street, and they had been a resident of Seattle for a number of years, back from the 1940s. And so they, a lot of people started moving in and out of Seattle. And they thought the one way to stay connected was to get together with something that's where they all could gather, and that was maybe a dinner or outing of some sort. So this lady, Arlene, invited 8 couples from the center area over to her house for dinner and just to get together, because everybody was, after the war, everybody was moving out. Mm-hmm. So she had that event, and the 8 people decided, well, this was such a success. Well, let's have this annually and invite more people. And so that grew into having a picnic at Seward Park. And at the first picnic they had, they sent out the invitation. And again, nobody had any funds. It wasn't funded. It was just a family affair where everybody got together and did it community-wise. Everybody put in their time and energy free of charge. And so they sent out invitations. So they had over 300 people there the first time they had this picnic. It was it was at Seward Park. This was in 1972.
Wow. And
it was a success. And so from there, it grew. We've had as many as 1,000 or more people at one of these gatherings. And we've had, let me put it this way: they, like we are, they did it for a number of years. Then they came to our organization and asked us to take it over. And when I say our organization, it's the Breakfast Group and the Northwest Black Pioneers. They came to us to have us to take it over because, again, they got old and then they started diminishing, and young people didn't want to do anything with it, so they needed some help. So they came to us, and so we decided to take it over in 2001. And our first time we did it at Guesswork, the Breakfast Group, and our steering committee. We gathered a steering committee of community people, mainly my daughters, my friends that were still around here, and so we got a committee together, and we involved the parks, and finally got the parks to come in as our partner, that they could accrue some of the costs, because it costs money to put a picnic on. It's not a cheap venture, so we had to organize and figure out how we get some donations and some grants and those kind of things. But they came to us and again in 2001. We decided to take it over. So we've been doing this from 2001 to now, which is 22 or 23 years. Yeah. And so at this stage of the game, we're at the same point they were back when they came to us in 1990. But so this might be and it's supposed to be our last year. I didn't tell Carrington, my granddaughter, who's here with me, that I went to a meeting with the Breakfast Group yesterday. It was retreat, and initially the first time the Miss Yarborough and her husband came to us, it was the Breakfast Group. They came to bail them out because they were not capable of putting the picnic on anymore because of the aging, and the young people didn't want to get involved. So they came to us, and of course, just like I told you before, we decided that we would take it over. And again, we're at the same stage. Everybody on that committee is gotten older. I got my granddaughter who's I got with me now, and everybody who's on the committee is it's wore out. We've had it 22 years of doing this, so this is our last year for our steering committee that we have today.
Wow.
And so, but we're full of fire and energy, and we're going to have a great time. We got a heck of a schedule. I brought one of our signs, our posters that we post all over the center area, different places. It tells you what we have. We even have, of course, we have live music.
Well, that was my next question.
Yes,
so it was, what do people expect when they come? I mean, you're talking about the last one Breakfast Group is putting on. Yeah. This is also like a turning of that legacy, right? Y'all churned it out. So what kind of things can folks expect?
They can expect, we got the Buffalo Soldiers coming, and they bring their horses and the buffalo. The history of the Buffalo Soldiers. They have horses and they have the wagons and they have everything. That's gonna be tremendous. We have the classic cars that will be there. We have a senior garden that we feed all the seniors over 65. But we do ask them most people to bring a picnic basket because to offset some of the costs of feeding everybody. But if you don't have a basket, you can get fed. And our local talent, outstanding entertainers. We have the best entertainers in the Northwest. That's going to be there.
Nice.
Then we have room for dancing. We have dancing, the slide, all the things that we like to do. For kids, we have face painting. We have those different houses. What do you call those crazy houses that that they get in and it's
you're gonna have one of those, like the bouncy house,
something like that, and we'll have just a number of different things for the kids. And my grandson and his wife is going to be in charge of that, and they have, you can have face painting, we might have, sometimes we have, I think we might have the snakes, but I'm a little afraid of snakes myself. And so I'm not a bit in favor of all those snakes. But then we're going to have, kids, going to be able to go into the museum. Not only the kids, but everybody is free of charge. Go into the museum and see all the exhibits and that kind of thing.
You're talking about Northwest African American Museum.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
I didn't tell you.
No, because I was going to ask that next. Where is it at?
Yeah, it's at the Northwest it's at the Northwest Museum. Sam Smith.
It's at Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi
Park.
Hendrix. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix. And that's where we're going to be, right in front.
Okay.
And people who we have one food cart there so that you'll be able to buy some food.
Oh, a food truck will be there. Okay, nice.
And then we have seniors coming from different senior centers. They're gonna bust them in. But we're gonna have what we want to have is a lot of older people, a lot of younger people to mix and match, and we have a great time. And we usually do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our 23rd year, and we've had a wonderful time. We've been at Gasworks Park, Seward Park, Stan Sears, all those different parks, and over 23 years, and we've had a wonderful time at every one of those locations, and we've had from 300 to 1,000 ourselves, and always a local talent is our best talent.
Yeah.
We have all the guys who've been playing music for years, and some of the ladies, Lady A, Josie Howell, they are just great entertainers, and we have a schedule full of. We have a guy named Buck Chandler, who's our entertainment chair, and he goes out and selects the best we have in the Northwest, and we'll have some young talent, a lot of young talent, up and coming people. It's a time to see who's in CL and who's doing what, as far as musically concerned, and so we are open it starts at 10 and ends at 6.
Wow. So y'all going to be out there all day at Jimi Hendrix Park with all of these amazing activities and gathering. I got to ask you, because after doing this for 22, 23 years, give us some of those highlights that you've experienced over those 2 decades where, you're essentially may have to pass the torch or, right? Like, tell us a bit about some of those highlights that you personally have experienced, Mr. Mitchell.
Well, it's some of the best times we had was at Gasworks Park. We had some of the most elegant musicians, and I always remember there because everybody, we didn't. Now we're more sophisticated. We've got some funds. And sometimes we pay a little bit of stipends to people to come and entertain us and stuff. But these people out at Gasworks were all volunteers and free of charge, and they put on some of the best shows that I ever seen, and that always stands in my mind of our wonderful times that we had at these Roots Picnic is the entertainment. We had local guy that would they fight to get here. Dave Holden and his band was always there because he's the fact about it. I look on the wall back of me. Some of the kids that I grew up with, and Dave Holden is one. He's in we marched in the Mardi Gras parade in 1961 and the Seafair parade. We marched in all the parades. We won so many trophies. That group of guys you see in the back on the wall here, that Dave Holden, Carver Gading, John Johnson, and Speedy Bryant, just Clement Burton, all the guys that we all grew up with. At that time, we were all going to college, most of us. So we came home and got together and formed that marching group. But anyway, it reminds me of those good days when everybody did anything. It was a community affair. Seattle, is now torn apart because it's half the people. Most of the people live in the South now. The Central area is no longer a Black community. So what we're trying to do as the Roots is trying to keep people coming back, we send out 300 or 400 cards inviting people to come back and join the Roots Picnic. And we have, we have people, we have at least 150 to 200 families that come from outside of Seattle just to be involved, to meet and greet and get reconnected with some of the people they grew up with. Because, we're getting smaller and smaller. And so in order to keep this thing going, we need everybody to come and participate. When we send the message out that we have, and our picnic is always the first Sunday, the Sunday before Labor Day. Every year, Sunday before Labor Day. This year is on the 1st. It happened to be on the 1st of September. But, if we continue or not continue, but we might continue. So it'll be, again, the Sunday before Labor Day.
There it is.
But we need the people to come out because, and I'm encouraging some of our African friends to come and be a part of this, because everybody sees all of us as Black people.
Yeah.
There's no difference, and so they got to get a handle on that.
Absolutely.
But I think it's growing. It's wonderful. It's keeping all of us together, the community, and we don't want to lose it. We already lost most of it already. So the little part we have left, we need to reconnect, bring all of us back together, and have a good time so we can remember, and our kids can remember.
Yeah, that's important. It goes back to what I was saying here at the top of the show, just the ideas of how much we need gatherings. So you've given us the details, but I want you to look right there in this camera closest to me. Make sure folks know when they need to be there and where they need to be to enjoy the Roots Family Picnic once again this year.
Okay, this year, 10 to 6 is time, but I guarantee you got to get there early because we have tables, a limited amount of tables and chairs. So if you don't have your own chairs and tables, you better get there closer to 10 than the 6. But if you have any gear, tents and those kind of things, you never know what it's going to do in Seattle. Last year, right at the end, it started to rain and the wind blowing. But if God is blessing us this year, we'll have a real sunny and no rain on our picnic. But bring your picnic gear, bring your tables and chairs if you have them. Otherwise, we have a few tables and a few chairs and some tents. We have a few tents too. And we also have some barbecue grills, a few of those. So we have some equipment, but if you play it safe, bring if you have anything at home, bring it with you. And just come and enjoy, because we're going to have just a lively music. Our music starts at 11, and we have drawings. We have it's something going on all the time. Yeah, and we have some special things that we're going to do, and we're going to honor all our civil rights people. We're going to honor the Urban League. We're going to honor the Black Panthers and the NAACP.
Wow.
We're going to, every year we have a theme, and the theme is civil rights movement.
There we go.
For this year. So I thought Urban League, the Black Panthers, and the NAACP was adequate representation of our civil rights movement, because they did a great job in Seattle.
Well, Mr. Mitchell, thank you so much for being with me today and for your dedication to bringing the Roots Family Picnic together every year for the last couple of decades. It's an honor to have you here, and we're looking forward to seeing how this can continue in community, because now it needs a new host, right? Yeah. And so thank you so much for all that y'all have done, everyone who has been a part of this to put this on all these years. I'm so glad that you could be here with me today.
Glad to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, wow. Y'all, you heard Mr. Mitchell. It is happening September 1st at Jimi Hendrix Park, 10 to 6 p.m. Bring your grills, bring your tents, bring your families, bring your tables and chairs. Have a good time in community with folks as we kind of wrap up that summer season right before a lot of the kids are going back to school. Y'all, I'm going to wrap it all up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. See you guys in a few.
Hey. United Business Connections, 3rd annual back to school function, pop-up shopping, and resource fair. Saturday, August 31st, 2024, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Live DJ with live performances. We have a petting zoo, healthcare information, job opportunities. We're giving away free backpacks. Sponsored by Arms Around You, 11805 Renton Avenue South, Seattle, Washington, 98178. Stop the gun violence.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I got to give a huge thank you to my guest, Mr. Paul Mitchell, for being here, giving us the insight on this year's Roots Family Picnic right there at Jimi Hendrix Park. He said, look, come. NAM is going to be open. There's going to be all types of fun for the kids. There's going to be connection and great entertainment. It's a great opportunity to be in community. And I'm inspired, y'all. I mean, come on. We're talking about over 2 decades of advocacy to bring this together, of organizing that it takes to bring this event together every year. And it is really an honor to be able to have someone who can share those insights with us here on The Day with Trae. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. There's some community organizing, some group that you can bring your brilliance to right now that maybe you just don't know who they are. I'm telling you, if you start searching and you find those groups in your community who are doing great things, if you experience an amazing event and you want to say, how can I contribute to making this a great event even the next year and in years to come? These are the kind of ways that you can tap yourself in to all of the amazing opportunities that are before you. So make sure you're inspired as much as I was so you can actually contribute to amazing efforts like this, as Mr. Paul Mitchell showed you that he does here today. Well, I'll be back with y'all tomorrow. Until then, y'all, at 11 a.m. Peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.